Good good evening, SBC and SBCC. Glad that you decided to join us on your busy Saturday night. Glad to have you here. I am your host, Mike Walker, and I have my lovely co-host, Josette Fortenberry, here with us. And we have a guest host with us, Miss Kisha. And she is, she just loves my accent for some reason. You know, and we've known each other, what, 15, what?
About 16 years.
Ooh, good. Long. She made it longer than that. Okay. Yeah. Long time though, you know, and, and she is the author at Red Lipstick Vibes podcast, a good podcast. And we're going to talk more about it later on. And we're just glad to have y'all here today. And we're going to talk about a plethora of things, relationships, and what else? Holiday. What is it? What is it? Joe said holiday hobbies.
Holiday hobbies, and then holiday. What do you call it when you the rituals that we do, and
Oh.
the
Okay.
the yeah, threw me off guard, baby.
So
Eating with the family, different stuff like that.
yeah, I get you. So we glad to have you here today. We glad to have you here. So before we go any further, uh, is she gonna laugh again? Kisha, could you look? There she go. Could you please tell us about yourself?
Um, my name is Kesha. I'm glad to be here tonight with Mike, and yeah, met on Yahoo when Yahoo had the similar situation like Facebook. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
telling yeah, that was a long time ago. um, so I am a single mom of a little boy with, well, he's not little anymore. He's 17, 6'2", almost 300 pounds.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay.
And just imagine I'm only 5'1". Go figure that. um, he has autism. Um, I am a certified autism navigator. Um, of course, that was one of the things that uh, drove me into studying autism was my son. I have a community outreach program. It's called Autistic Children Connecting Parents, where I counsel and advise parents that are going through the diagnosis, or just hearing the diagnosis for the first time, and they pretty much don't know what to do, don't know where to turn. So I am the person that they call to help them through the process.
Amazing.
Um, so I have resources for them. I have a 24-hour hotline for them. They can set up one-on-one conferences with me. So yeah. So how did I get into podcasting?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I'm always on the phone with my girlfriends or with a guy friend or somebody, and we just have the most interesting conversations. And I will always say, we need to record this stuff because we sometimes it's something really funny, and then there are other times where it's something really serious. And I begin to watch other people do their podcasts, and I'm like, well, we do that like almost every day on the phone. So why don't we just do it? So I brought it to the attention of one of my friends, and and she was like, I don't want to do it because, you know, um, She's camera shy, and I was camera shy too. But when I did it for the first time, and the response that I got, I was like, okay, this is awesome. So that's pretty much how Red Lipstick Vibes got started. Just hanging out with my friends on the phone, and we just thought it was a good idea to share whatever we were talking about to other people. So that's how we got started.
That is very good. That's very, very good. And it's a good podcast. And we're going to tell more about it toward the end of the show. Okay.
Hmm.
So, ladies, these beautiful ladies I'm with tonight,
Hmm.
um, let's get started. Let's start with, let's say, and this go to the viewing audience as well. Let's say you started dating a person. Y'all been dating for about what? Give me a time period, Joe.
3 weeks.
Th- three,
3 weeks? Okay.
three.
Three
Okay,
weeks.
Okay.
3 weeks.
I've had
Give,
this happen in 3 weeks. All right.
give it a
Any,
four.
okay, you want me to come on through anywhere between 3 weeks and 3 months. 3 months
Okay,
is that.
okay, 3 months. Okay, know what? Between 3 weeks and 3 months, and then this person tells you those three words. Where's my money? No, those three words. I love you. How do you respond to that? What is your response to that? Joe, go ahead.
Woo! My stomach just hit the floor, and I gotta go sit down, and I gotta go to the restroom and pray. Number one, I am not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. And it depends on Excuse me, baby. I have to go. Woo! And don't. I can't. I've been hasty before, right? So it's okay to not immediately respond. Usually I look like this, and then I'm like, wait, whoa, you said those three words. So, excuse me, baby, I need to go sit down and think for a moment. Just give me a few minutes to go pray. I'm gonna tell him I'm going to go pray. I'm going to the bathroom. I am. I'm gonna have to go sit down and think about it for a minute. Jesus is on the man. Call him when you want, right? I just can't respond to that because then I need to respond with a question like, "What do you mean? Where is this coming from? Why are you saying that? What do you really feel? What's really going on? I need you to elaborate." I
Oh,
do.
now, what are you? Well, what are you praying for?
Discernment.
Hmm.
Discernment. God, show me the heart of the person that's saying this. Gosh, let me know if this is what they're really feeling. Because when you in tune with God and the Holy Spirit, you get a gut feeling, and your gut feeling will tell you like this is not. This is not right. This is not okay. Or your gut feeling will, you get the butterflies. That's all gut feelings from what I think is my higher power. I call, it's God. It's a God gut feeling. And I need to allow that feeling to happen for a minute by stepping back and stepping away and saying and praying, God, show me the real intentions and heart of this person again, because I've been praying all along, you know. But now you have to pray for discernment in the sense of what is it that they're saying, you know.
I get you, Ms. Ty. I call you that, then. Okay, Ms. Ty.
I think we like it better when when you say
Oh gosh.
we like
Okay.
the like she called we like the twang.
Yes. Well, look, at some point my New Orleans accent was going to come through. So
See, I know.
She sound a
Yeah,
little different
yeah,
now.
yeah.
She do sound a little different.
She's
so
Nolan. She's Nolan. She's trying to
you
suppress
know
and talk about my Alabama accent, man. She just 6 hours away, accent wise.
Now,
so
Kisha,
you
Yeah,
know
you want to make sure you speak up just a little bit. Go on, girl. We want to hear you. Go ahead.
okay. Can
I
y'all hear
I
me?
hear I hear you
There
real
you go.
good.
So my question would be to you, Mike, would be in what situation is the words being said? Because a lot of times, most of the time, the "I love you" comes in when you're having sex, and it's only in response to what is happening at the time. Um, it may not be actually heartfelt, but because you're in the midst of, you know,
Yeah.
this physical, emotional situation,
Mm.
the words may slip out. So that will be one question I would have. In what situation is the word "I love you" coming out of this person's mouth? Um, 3 months is that the time frame you
Between
have?
3 weeks and 3 months.
Because I can tell you, okay, story time. Okay, I have this
But
thing on
go
my
ahead.
podcast where we call it dysfunctional stories. So here we go, dysfunctional story time. I've actually had someone that I was dating that said that he loved me, and yeah, it was about a month.
Mm.
Mm.
It was about a month, and I didn't say I love you back right away. Um, I just said thank you. I said, "Thank you
Good
for
answer.
loving me."
Good response.
I just told him, I said, "Thank you for loving me," until I was ready, till I got to that point where I said, you know, that I loved him or whatever. And that took about like maybe another month or so. Um, so I think it depends on the situation where it comes out of the person's mouth, and if you both are feeling each other, because there has been times when people meet and there's just strong connection right off the bat. Um, they're vibing, they feel each other, they're communicating, well, they're spending time together, and there is some love growing there. Now you have to understand that there are two different types of love. You can love someone but not be in love with that person.
Mm.
Say that one more time. Please
You
say that one
can
more
love
time.
someone but not be in love with that person. So you have to decipher what they're really saying. Are they saying I'm in love with you, or I love you. I love you as my friend or the person I'm getting to know or the person I'm vibing with, my girlfriend or whatever. So there's a lot of variables there that you have to decipher in order to give a correct answer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've heard, and this was like almost 30 years ago, that sometime in relationships we fall victim to
Yes.
blindness,
Mhm.
lust blindness. And when you see what you like,
Mhm.
then all logic just, you really lose out. Oh, I love you. I love you, baby. Yeah, ooh, you looking good in them jeans. I love you. Please
And the
wear that.
funny thing is about that is that you get the butterflies then too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sure it's not an ulcer? I'm,
Mike.
I'm, I'm just
I
asking.
hope not.
You know what?
No.
I'm not gonna do this with y'all tonight. Tawanda says 3 months is too soon to say I love you to someone you are dating. Interesting. If he says it to me, I would say thank you. That's it.
Mm.
Take it, make it more than 3 months. I think 3 months isn't that bad, but that's
No,
just
I
my
don't think
personal
so
opinion.
either. Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
3 months,
3 months.
but 3 weeks, yeah. But 3 months, I don't think that's it. And again, it goes back to what type of love that they're feeling at the moment.
Hmm. But how can you tell the difference, Ty? How can you tell the difference?
See, that's a hard question. um, to love someone is more like, okay, I care for you. You know, you're like a friend, or I'm there for you. We vibe and we have good chemistry or whatever. But I think when you say that I'm in love with the person, this is the point where you feel like you cannot be without that person at all.
Mm.
This is the moment where you feel if they will walk out of your life right then, you would just fall apart. it's more of a how can I say it? I don't want to say chemistry because that goes along with lust. This
Mm,
it's more of a deeper connection on a spiritual and mental level, incorporated with a physical level with a person. Um, when you're at that point where you say I can't be without this person, that's when you're in love with that person.
mm,
And
mm.
it doesn't even have to be romantic because I'm in love with my parents. Because if my parents would die today, I would fall apart. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always a romantic thing to be in love with someone. So for me that would be the difference because I can say I love Mike because me and Mike know each other for like oh my god since my son was born. So I love him. I love him as my friend. I love him as somebody I knew for a long time. I care about him. If he was sick, I would say are you okay or whatever. That type of thing. But to say you know when you're in love with someone, that is really, really deep. You have to really feel that in the core in your soul to say, I'm in love with this person. And I think nowadays that I'm in love is used loosely without understanding. People say, I love this woman, I love this man, I'm going to marry them or whatever, and not realizing they're in lust and not in love because, the divorce rate is crazy because that feeling is gone. So it has to be a deeper connection to say I'm in love with you. So it depends. It depends on the person. It depends on the situation. Depends on the couple.
Absolutely.
She
Absolutely.
just made me nervous and scared.
I'm sorry.
Oh, why you scared, Joe?
Because I know that God created us in a place that's temporary. You know, it's not heaven on earth, and this is a temporary place. I love my parents. I love my mom. My dad has passed away. I love my children, and when I look at a mate or a future mate that I would hopefully be in love with, if I was to lose that person, I still have to maintain self love, which means that I don't fall apart because that person would want me to be strong in any situation if I was to lose them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when
I
I look at whether or not I am in love with somebody, I have evaluated when this man is 80 years old and I got to push him in a wheelchair and change his diaper, am I still going to be in love with him? So I need some real life situations in the sense of, okay, I will love him no matter what. But if I lose him, I will not lose myself and I can continue to go on and thrive in life regardless because they may choose to leave me at any given moment. I still have to thrive with God in my life no matter what. That's
yeah,
just how
I don't want you to think that I'm saying that you will fall apart if that person will leave you or die or whatever. Not to say that you will lose yourself. What I mean is that um it will hurt you more than just somebody you just met a few weeks ago and was talking to and going out with.
I get
You
hurt
know,
over the man I met
oh
last 2 weeks
Lord.
ago. 2 weeks ago, man, what happened? You didn't.
No, don't sis. Don't do it, sis.
I'm just I get, I care, and I don't know, Mike.
It's more for okay, so for me, like the my last relationship, I can truly say that I was in truly in love with this person. Um and when the relationship ended, of course I didn't lose myself or whatever, what you were saying, but it felt as if a piece of me was missing because we were no longer together because of that emotional and spiritual connection that I had is broken. That's what I mean by, it's a difference between, I love you as, as you are, or we're friends and we're good together. We do good together. We're good companions. It's something deeper when you actually saying that you're in love with someone.
Right, right, right.
And if we just look at the word in,
Mm.
you're in, not surface.
Mm,
It's in love.
It's when you're in love, you're in a state of love. As
Yes.
opposed, I love you. That's like a verb right there.
Right.
I'm loving you.
Mhm.
Or
There you
like
go.
we say nowadays, to love on you.
Mhm.
No,
Yes. 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 Yes.
that's
Correct.
well, let's see what the folks say. Tiffany Murphy, my response is, what is it about me that makes you tell me that in order to better understand their intentions? You know
Good.
what? I'm
Mhm.
guilty of that. That's me. Like, okay, you say you love me. What is it that you love about me?
that's part
Exactly.
of the question.
Yeah. That's all the
Yeah.
questions. Yeah.
That's why I just ran to the bathroom and ran off that list in my head of all the stuff I need to nicely,
Mhm.
humbly come back and ask you.
And honestly, when I'm dating someone, I periodically ask them, what do you like about me? What is it about you like about me?
Mm.
What what intrigues you about me? And I'm expecting a different answer every time. Don't come to me with the same thing, because then we're going to have a problem.
I get you. Then see, Sherry says, I'd ask, are you sure it's love? Or do you just have a strong affection
Good,
toward me?
Sherry. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Mm.
yes. And she says, how can you love or have a strong affection for someone that you don't know? It may be a bit premature to say I love you after a few weeks.
Hmm.
Hmm, that's a good point right there. And let me see. Sister Lipscomb says 3 months of exclusiveness is not bad.
I agree.
Now, what
I
is
agree.
exclusiveness though? What is exclusiveness?
Just you and that person dating
You and that
nobody
person,
else.
right? That, and
Like
I think
you are a couple,
that
nobody
well,
else.
I wouldn't necessarily put the. I don't know about the exclusive. Just like what Kisha said, like you're not entertaining somebody else. You're not looking at somebody else. You're not long distance dating over here, and you're not
Exactly.
entertained by anybody else. And there's a sense of loyalty in exclusiveness.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. And Re- Reginald says 3 months. You probably haven't seen enough, meaning the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. Is
Now
it?
wait a minute, 3 months, Reginald. You talking about
Yeah.
2020? 3 months and you I see a lot in a person. I see when they if like for me example, I go through different situations at a job. I need to know how this person is going to respond to me, how they're going to give me what kind of feedback, or they might be going something is going to happen in 3 months. A tire explode, a car went out, the
Hmm.
cat died, the refrigerator went out. I got the stomach flu. I need to see what's going on. You can learn a lot about it. That's the limit right there. That's the breaker month right there. The 3 month. I have a 3 month rule. And in the 3 months you get three strikes, and that's.
Yes. Yeah. For me too.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm talking to someone, it's just I don't want to have any surprises, and I don't want to give them any, surprises as well. So when I'm talking to someone, I'm dating someone, oh, you're gonna see everything.
the
You gonna
real.
see how I look when I wake up in the morning. I will send you a video. Hey, babe. Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I tell them right off the bat, I'm 5'1" and I'm spoiled brat. Okay, so this is what it is. I try to give them every scenario about me so that it won't be a surprise when I start pouting because you won't buy me them shoes, and you think I'm crazy because I'm getting mad about it. So,
You know
um,
what, girl? You know well.
and I try. For me, I try to just be authentic as possible when you're dating someone. Um, there, these days, there's no need to, hide your true self anymore. Um, especially if you really are looking for love and a marriage or a real relationship. Like, what's the point of doing that now? Like, if you because at some point he gonna find out that you can't cook or you can't keep a clean house or you got a nasty attitude certain times of the month. You know what I'm saying? It's just be honest with yourself on a daily basis, honest with that person on a daily basis.
I watch now. For me now, I also watch signs of depression and how they handle their
Yes,
depression.
exactly.
Um, and underlying signs of their past haunting them
Mhm.
because
Watch the
all that.
conversation. Yeah.
Right, right. All
Mhm.
that stuff is included. You're gonna have all those conversations within 3 months, and and I even find like, okay, God, what is this person hiding? What kind of skeletons is in their closets? I
Exactly.
just want to know. Just stick a little foot out and let me see
Mhm.
what that skeleton looks like. Don't
Mhm.
open the whole closet on me because it's back in there. But I want to know. Because you're putting yourself in a position to be what this person was in the past, what they've grown to be, is always
Mhm.
going to affect their future.
And then you have to listen to their conversations because a lot of times, we're talking or whatever, and stuff will go over our head, and we're really not paying. I mean, really pay attention to what people are saying when they're talking to you.
That's the
When
point
they're
of.
talking about their family, when they're talking about their past relationships, anything, because you can
Mhm.
pick up little cues of say, okay, you got mommy issues, or yeah,
Yeah,
you still in love with old girl. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
you can pick that stuff up. You
yeah.
can pick it up. Yeah.
And in SBC, I asked a question earlier this week. What minor things could tell you a lot about a person? What minor things? Not big stuff, not the obvious, just minor things like one of the comments says, how they treat the wait staff. You know,
Mhm.
how do they tip? How do they act in a small crisis? Someone
Mhm.
cut them off.
Uh, and and that's it. Well, just a little bit to mention what she's saying about the conversation. I think that we have to listen and watch to understand, not listen to respond. That's when I learned
Yes.
the difference. Sometimes we just listen to respond. When we're watching, you need to watch to understand as well. So something simple to me, like somebody invited me over their house, and there was a lot of shoes by the front door. So this tells me he comes from a background that take off your shoes when you come into the house. There is a particular culture behind that. Usually it's a
Mhm.
very clean cut. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Versus so watching to understand is just as important to what, and it starts from the very very beginning.
Mhm.
Opening the door for a lady, that's simple. That's simple stuff. To me, ordering before a lady, or ordering at the site when you order your food, or messages in the morning, like how do you start your morning, all that stuff is watching and listening to understand, and not just reply like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
flat. No, what did he
Yeah.
say? you know
And there's a difference between just listening and actually hearing what the person is saying. You have to
Mhm.
hear what they're saying. And those little underlying messages in their conversation. Because a lot of times, people will say little things just to see what you're going to do or say about it.
I
Now,
forgot
listen,
about that. I never really thought about that, but I think that through actions a person can show you that they love you before they even need to say it.
Oh yes, most definitely. It's always in the actions. You could
Mm-hmm.
tell me all day long, but if you're not showing me that you love me,
Right.
I don't
Absolutely.
believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ms. Lipscomb says there was a period before exclusiveness where you were dating. So there was a time there. Okay. And Sandra Pearl has an interesting take on it. Some will say, I love you too soon just to love bomb you in the breadcrumb. Now,
You want to elaborate on that?
okay, well, I can tell you breadcrumbing is those who don't know what breadcrumbing is, say a person is interested in you. Okay. Wait, I'll let that sit up there. Say a person is interested in you, but you're not necessarily ready to jump in with them and you want to explore your options.
A little bit.
So you just give them just a little bit of attention.
To hold them
So
down.
just to hold them, just to make sure they don't go looking
Right.
elsewhere. So when things don't work out with person B, you can
Mm-hmm.
go back to her and then
Exactly.
maybe continue the breadcrumbing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, love bombing is at least in Kisha, please correct me if I'm wrong, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is when you put too much attention towards someone and they feel it's kind of unwelcome and they don't care about it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's like, Joe, I just come to your job. Well, Joe, I just bought you these flowers just to let you know I'm thinking about you. Just keep doing it. But we broke up 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That look right there you got on your face right there.
I think
Look,
I've been a victim of both.
there you go. There you go.
Somebody done dropped a bomb on me and threw crumbs. And I picked them up and ate them. Ooh, Lord. Mm. You learn a lot these
I
days.
love her. I love her.
So that and it happens. We give them these new titles, but
Yeah.
that's been going on since maybe the dawn of man, perhaps. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Most definitely.
But I appreciate the reminder and the discussion of that because um man, maybe I get pulled in and some stuff and I'm not even aware of it. Like, how do you know when a person is not doing it? You know what I mean? Because now if we walk around on guard all the time like that, like I'm waiting, is he breadcrumbing me? Is he love bombing me? Is he smacking me with what is he? Did he hit me with a dish towel? Like, what's gonna happen?
Right,
You
right.
understand? Like now I'm on guard all the time, and I'm confused about what the true feeling is.
And Chandra, if you're still listening, uh, you may want to put a smidgen of gaslighting in that as well, though, because some people can do that. Some people would try to gaslight. You know, okay, Joe.
What? Jesus, take the wheel. Y'all done threw me off.
That means when you knew they did something wrong, and I come to you and said, Joe, you did not see me with that woman over there. When you saw me just as plain as day with that woman. That's
Oh
called
my goodness.
gaslighting, trying to mess with your mind.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I hope I'm not. I hope other people are learning from this. Seriously, really. But yeah.
But,
Ooh.
but far as breadcrumbing, in a moment of transparency, I've been breadcrumbed and I have fed some breadcrumbs. So, it goes both ways. Been guilty of it.
That's what I'm trying to determine. Have I done that?
We may have.
I don't know.
We may have.
Unintentionally, I guess there's ways to do these things unintentionally without even me. But now it's the being well. Okay. Ooh.
Now, let me see what Tawanda says. I agree with what you said. Well said, Sister Ty. See, got your fan. Yes, and Sister Rhonda. See, yes, Kisha. See, okay, yeah, and Sister Shannon. When it pertains to matters of the heart, everyone's timeline is different.
Yeah.
Telling someone I love you after 3 months of dating does not make it wrong. if that's truly how those two individuals feel. This is something that will be unique to each couple as they navigate dating.
Mm-hmm.
And each couple can be different. You might fall head over heels for your last, with to you two ladies, your last boyfriend, and then the next one, it might take a while. He had to
Yes.
grow up on you. Yeah, I can see that. And Tia says, that's so good. Folks falling in lust and claiming it's love. But
Mm-hmm.
if fun feeling, listen to this part, y'all. But if fun feelings die and you done with them, that's not genuine love. Then it goes back to what I was saying. Um, what was that? Lust blindness.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and
Mm-hmm.
simple. Sherry says, what about would you still love him if he ends up in a wheelchair a week later? Wow, that would be the true test of true love.
Mm-hmm.
And then how many would be willing to make that sacrifice so soon in a relationship?
Well, I mean, it's just looking at it and thinking about it. When for me, when I get into a relationship, my intentions on that relationship is to be a long life filled relationship. So, how do you act when you get a cold? You know, some men when they get a cold is just, oh, I'm about to
They
die.
about to
Oh,
die, girl.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's but so, yeah, and you know what? Like I say, a lot of men do. But then, what are they saying? I'ma die. Go get me some coffee. Go get me some juice. Go get or honey, babe, I just don't feel good. I'ma die. Can you please just help me here? You know, there's a difference. What are they saying? What are they saying? What are they really saying? Because that's gonna intensify with cancer, or that's gonna intensify with a
Mm.
heart condition. That's gonna intensify with baby, you done went outside in the yard and you just done sawed off your toe. So, those things is gonna intensify. So when you get something like a cold or a toothache, let me see how you gonna respond.
Mm.
Story time.
Go ahead.
So, I kind of have I had a situation like that with my ex. So when we first started dating, I would say maybe 5 months into the relationship. So we were in the like googly eyes, I love you kind of thing. He was a cop, and he got into a high speed chase with some crazy dude, and ended up crashing, and he broke both his legs.
Ooh.
Wow.
Uh, I think his collarbone and some other things. So he was, you know, broke down for a minute for like almost a year, where he couldn't walk, he couldn't do much, because he wasn't working. He started to have financial issues, that sort of thing, and I had to like go, help take care of him because he's from Chicago and he didn't have any family in Louisiana, so it was me. So, um, I had a couple of girlfriends was like, "Girl, he can't do that for you. You leave him." La 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 la. But I can say that because I loved him, I stuck by him no matter what. It didn't matter to me that he could not buy me my red bottoms that I wanted for Christmas that year. But okay, I got them the next year anyway. uh, uh, but because I cared for him and loved him, even if I wasn't in love with him, I loved him enough that I would be there for him. So, to what the comment was, it depends on where you are with that person, because you have a lot of people that get married, or in a relationship for the wrong reasons. It's all about what can you do for me, or what can you give me, and if you can't give me or do for me, I don't want to be with you anymore.
Mm,
So this love that I have for you is gone because that love was what all you were doing for me. And that brings me to the point where when I'm dating someone, I enjoy the little gifts and things and all that kind of stuff, but I tell guys right off the bat, don't do stuff for me or say things to me that a year down the line or 2 years or more down the line, you're not going to be doing. Don't do all that stuff to impress me. Be
mm.
you. If you're not the type of guy that likes to buy flowers every day, don't do that. Don't try to impress me by sending me flowers to my job every day because down the line, everything that you're doing right now when you first meet me and you don't continue to do that kind of stuff, oh, that's a problem. We're going to have a problem. So don't start stuff that you can't finish. Let me shut up.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, Reginald,
Oh,
Reginald, that's a good saying because I I say that at work and I say that to a lot of people all the time. We have 2 ears and one mouth. God gave us 2 ears and 2 eyes and one mouth
Yes,
so we can watch and listen twice as much as what we talk.
that's right.
High five, Reginald.
but you make a good point though. And that's where a lot of new relationships go to pot. Is when I want to start impressing you. Like here's some let me name some of that. I don't know. Red bottoms, like you just said. Yeah, here you go. And I try to get you some at least every 2 weeks. You know. And then again, money running low now.
Right.
Then what happens? And
Hmm.
then here's week number 8. Well, hey, run me my red bottoms.
Where my shoes at? Oh, he must don't love me no more because he not sending me no flowers and all that. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
So what happens is, say for a person like me, part of one of my major love languages is gift giving. So not giving, don't take it the wrong way when I say gift giving. Okay, so meet somebody and their favorite ice cream is cherry bomb or whatever, and
But
while thinking of them in the store,
that's
you get that.
simple stuff. That's
Okay,
the little things. Little things that's
okay.
fine because you can always do those things. But I'm talking about when people get into relationships. I have had dated some people where they just went all. I'm like, dude, you know good and well that you're not going to continue to do this kind of extravagant stuff for
Wow, I
the
want to know
rest
what's one of
of
your
my
extravagant.
life.
Girl, tell me what. We need to know what's one of your extravagant gifts,
That's an
girl. Come
off-camera situation,
on.
baby.
Ooh.
Hey,
Like you talking about,
I'm curious to
we
know.
can't
Was
be
it?
flying. We can't be flying out. We can't. You can't be fluing me out. You
fluid.
know what I'm saying? All of this kind of stuff. Like, come on, don't. Like you so crazy. I just I'm and honestly, I tell men when if I'm dating someone, I'm not dating women now, but if I were to date someone, I tell them all the time, I appreciate the little things more than the big things. Granted, diamonds is a girl's best friend and all that,
Mhm.
and we love. And I'm a shoe person. I have like over 300 pairs of shoes right there. So go figure. So, um, but it's the small stuff, like you were saying. Just at the ice cream, bringing me lunch or just small things, a card here and there. Those things I hold dear more than the big things.
Mm.
So if a guy that I'm dating and getting to know is doing more of those type things, oh man, I'll be all googly eyed all the time. And I would think I would be suspect of the big things all the time. Like, why are we doing these big
Mm.
things all the time? What
Does it have
about
that
these
like?
small things that
Is it like
I
a sugar
like?
daddy?
If I tell you that I like such and such, and you forget about what I say that I like, but you think because this is norm, or this is what society say a woman will want, some big giant, some tennis bracelet, this and that. But I'm telling you, I like the little things, and you just ignore what I'm telling you that I like. And I'm looking at you side eyed. Yeah.
It just kind of like, ooh, she had a sugar daddy. I ain't never even had one of those. I ain't never even had one of those. I want one of them. Merry
No, you don't, baby.
Christmas.
No,
Nah,
no, you don't, baby. Baby,
nah.
you don't want none of them, baby. Mm-mm.
But listen, you
More
brought
money, more problems, baby.
I'm glad. I'm glad you said that because I mean, it crosses. I'm not gonna lie. It crosses the mind every now and
Yeah.
runs through. It ain't. I'm not even gonna lie.
anyway, you bring up a good point though. When you was talking about the big things and the small things.
Hmm.
When when is it a bad time to do the big things?
You have to feel out the person. It depends on the person. I
With
mean,
Christmas near, that's kind of tricky with Christmas.
yeah. I mean, it depends on the person. It depends on the person. It depends on the situation. What I'm referring to is right off the bat, you just trying to. I just feel like you're trying to buy me,
Mm.
and especially
Hmm.
if I haven't given you none yet. I mean, can I say that? If I haven't
Yeah,
given you
sure.
no,
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
haven't given you the goods and you just pouring it on, is that what you trying to buy from me? I don't know.
Mm.
It's just in the back of my head, like, okay, I don't need all that. Exactly, Kimberly. The small things does add up.
And,
Exactly. That's
and,
how I
and, it,
feel.
and I think the small things make it are more they're thoughtful, and it
Exactly.
brings me into
Mhm.
like this person has been paying attention to me. It's more
Right.
of an emotional connection. Like I don't know, I do silly stuff. Like okay, you want me to? You chew double mint. I'm gonna keep some double mint in my purse for you when we go out. Stuff like that. But I mean, a serious topic right now would be that gift giving at Christmas time with someone that you're dating. Like right now, like oh my goodness, if I open up and all I got is some doggone house shoes, and yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna respond. Oh, my fifth pair of house shoes.
I don't know, like for Christmas and birthdays and that kind of thing. I think if you're in a relationship or dating, seriously dating someone, that comes in with that person hearing you, because I drop little bombs all over the place. I'd be like, babe, I saw this such a size. It's so cute. I tried it on. It's bad, but that price tag, Jesus. So I when you're you drop little bombs and stuff when you're around the holidays and stuff to let them know what you want. And then, sometimes like my dad is crazy. My dad would say, "Okay, what you want?" he just he would just say, "Okay, what you want for Christmas?" He'll just ask you. So it depends on the situation and the couple. You talk about it, or they'll listen to something you'll say, or it's something that you need, or something that you like, or something. So when it comes to the holidays and birthdays, when it comes to gifts, I think that should be a factor, and that communication comes in with that.
Mm. For me, I don't like expensive gifts. Because guess what? I could buy that stuff with my own money right there. You want me to smile on Christmas Day? Y'all know that sparkling apple cider that you get at the grocery store. Buy me a case of those right there.
Oh
I'm
Lord,
good to
yes.
go right there. Okay. Buy me some foreign cheese or something like that or some chalk. That's what I like right there. The simple things.
Hmm.
I love simple things as well. And what Brother Reginald says, that goes both ways.
Hmm.
A
It does.
woman should not expect the man to do, and she just be the only one that receives, but does.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with you, and that goes back to what I said earlier. Don't do things that you can't continue to do. For me, um, I believe, and this is how I deal in all relationships, whether it's friendships, family ship, or relationship. I treat you the way I want you to treat me. So if I take um, um, the small things to heart, I do the same thing for my family, my friends, or the person that I'm dating. There has been many a times where I will put a card in his patrol car. So when he got in, there was a card there
Mm.
that told me, or I sent lunch, or I brought lunch, or something small. If I saw that one of his socks had a hole in it, I went and got a pair of socks and just laid it on the desk or something. Just something simple. So I generally try to treat the since we're talking relationship, the man in my life the way I want to be treated. So if I'm doing these type of things for you, I'm showing you my love language. I'm not just telling you, because with men, guys, you can chime in. It's not all about what we say, because sometimes when ladies are talking, y'all just hear this. So we have to show you our love language, and that's how in my dating, when I'm dating someone, I do. I show them how I want to be loved. So whatever they do for me, I'm doing the same thing for them. So it goes both ways with me,
Hmm.
and
That
that makes the relationship stronger.
Okay. Okay. Uh Doris Miles says, however you start your relationship, there is an expectancy to continue.
Mm-hmm.
It is always wise to build up. Don't
Exactly.
don't jump, pull the extravagant card if you can't continue it.
That's what I said. Yep.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, definitely. And what Reginald says, what if he doesn't have that type of income to buy those real expensive things? Do you leave them?
No,
I was just
no.
gonna
Let
bring
me
that
tell you
up.
something. So when you meet somebody and you're talking, of course, you should be asking certain questions. If they're getting to know you and you getting to know them, and you get to a point where you're talking about what do you do for a living, blah 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 blah, and you can pretty much gauge if this person can. Okay, so example. So if I was a high maintenance person, okay. If I was a high maintenance person, and I know that I because most women, we have this thing where I want a guy to have this, I want a guy to be able to do this. We got this whole list of things, right? So when I'm dating the guy and I'm getting to know that person, I'm going down the list. And when I'm talking to him, I'm not just listening, I'm hearing what he can do and what he can't. I'm watching his lifestyle of what he can do and what he can't. So I will not get, if I'm a high maintenance woman and I expect this man to give me all of these expensive things, I'm not going to date a man that's not going to be able to do that. So why would I even get into a relationship or marriage with a person that can't afford me? So I don't know how that will work. Yes, ma'am. You ready for you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You just did. No, she has a good point. I can't really too much elaborate on that, but my concern was more of my love language is the gift of giving. And it's tricky sometimes to get to know a man's love language. And just like what he said, I don't expect you to be able to afford me, but there are some men that did not have a loving past. Maybe
Yeah.
a lot of women use them, or maybe they just don't have that act of giving, and that's okay. But the trick is to try and figure out with that man why or why not, or is it the financer, or is it that I've dated a homeless man. I've dated a broke man. And because I did not expect anything, and,
Right.
and the thing was that when they did have it and they spent it on something, like, don't you come buying me no doggone pot for it, because in the kitchen, because you don't know how to buy me gifts, you know. So, I've experienced a lot of different stuff when it
Right.
comes to dating. For me, I wouldn't even know how to drop bombs on nobody on what to give me. For me, I'm not used to a man that's giving me anything, so I don't expect that. But the trick is to know what kind of past he's had as far as him gift giving, because some men just don't know how to be thoughtful. Some
Exactly.
men just don't know because they've never experienced it.
Mhm.
So that's, and I had to, the trickiness is how to teach a man that you care about and that you're interested in, and not necessarily teach them, but to give them the examples of how to be more thoughtful to accommodate you. And that means, baby, make me a bowl bath every now and then. Baby, can you go make me a bubble bath? So if I say, baby, can you go make me a bubble bath? And then that's part of the letting them know what it is that's
She
needed.
likes those bubble baths. There you go. Well,
Absolutely. Now, here's a question right here. Chandra asks, do the five love languages make a big difference with compatibility? Also, how soon should the love languages be introduced into a new relationship?
That's part of your personality and your character of who you
yeah.
are. It starts with knowing yourself first. For me, because I know what my love language is, I have to hold back. You know what I'm saying? I have to, because I start thinking of, oh, Christmas, I'm gonna get him a watch, and I'm gonna get him, and
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. So that's part of me knowing who I am, me holding back, and but it starts immediately. It starts with me. It starts with, going. That to me just starts immediately. And watching and learning what their love language is a part of active listening.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I for me, I think it pretty much starts as soon as you. I wouldn't say when you first get the hey, can I get your number? But once you two starts to really talk and really get to know each other and dating and stuff, I think it starts then, because then you're starting to connect on a different level than hey shorty, how you doing, kind of thing. So it starts immediately. Um, so with a well, that pretty much answer her question when it starts in the new relationship. So it pretty much starts when you start to really connect with that person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that said, we are out of time.
Oh,
We
really?
we are
No
out of
way.
time. We are out of time. Time flies when you're
Oh
having
my
fun.
goodness.
I know it happens though. So
This
Kisha.
is a good conversation. I need to transfer this over to the vibe. We got to talk about this on air too.
Well, and speaking of
Gotta
of
bring. I gotta bring you guys on the vibe,
yeah,
so we can have
speaking
this
of vibe,
conversation.
and give us a little bit more information on the vibe. Go ahead.
So, we are on Facebook at Red Lipstick Vibes. Um, on Facebook, we also have a Instagram page where we go live on Instagram. It's red underscore lipstick underscore vibes underscore podcast. We also have a YouTube page as well, and that's Red Lipstick Vibes, the podcast as well. Um, we have a show every week. Sometimes the days varies, but I also usually go live and talk about some random thing. I
Yeah.
hear something, I see something, I just want to talk about
Just,
it. So-
just long as it's not on Tuesday, then we all right there.
no, no, not on Tuesdays.
Okay. Yeah. So y'all go over there and just pay her a visit. Okay. It's a good um show. And next week you having one next week?
Yes. Next
Okay.
week, ladies, I will be talking about loyalty and friendship between Black women.
Oh,
Nice. Kisha, let
okay.
me ask you real quick. You also mentioned about supporting other women with kids that may have autism. I have a couple of friends that
Yes.
may be interested in that. You want to throw
Hmm.
that at us too?
Yes, so
Mm.
I do have a community initiative here, not just here in Baltimore, but I'm all over. I started in Louisiana, and now I'm here in Baltimore, but it's also online. It's www.autisticchildrenconnectingparents.com. One word. I also have a website, a Facebook page, and it's at ACCP dot safe community on Facebook. And we also on Instagram as well. It's at ACCP dot safe on Instagram.
Okay, okay. That is great. That's groovy though. And I think you wanted me as a guest, but
Yes, I do.
uh-oh. Shh, we don't supposed to tell everybody. Okay. So so other than that though, we're having the after party, Zoom
Cool.
after party. And I hope you join us
Yes, I
and
will. I will.
and tell that story you was about to you couldn't tell out here though, but you could tell it there though. So,
Ooh,
you know,
Lord.
and
I gotta make sure my parents asleep.
oh, uh-oh. And okay, and a little announcement. And don't forget on Tuesday, we have Tuesday Talk at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, uh 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific. Yeah. And all other time zones in between. And then, of course, next Saturday, we will have Making the Connection.
Ooh.
And we have a good time there too. So make sure you tune in and join us there. So I think that is about it though. Thank you
I
all for
enjoyed
joining
it.
us.
This is wonderful.
Oh, we enjoyed you. You got to
Yeah.
come back. You
I
got
will. I
you
will. I
have
enjoyed myself.
no, you have to come back. So so for Josette and Kisha, this is Mike. We thank you and bye bye, y'all.
Bye.